So, if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel or you've already started and it feels like absolutely nothing is working, I'm going to tell you the brutal truths that truly no one really warns you about, no one really talks about, but happens to all of us behind the scenes. So, you don't quit right before it actually works because typically you're in this space right before you are about to have your biggest breakthrough. Before we dive in, I'm Ashley Bornanson. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, on this channel, we do not just focus on building content. We focus on building clarity, confidence, momentum, helping creators with a mission fulfill their vision. And today, we're going to have a very honest, heart-to-heart conversation, just you and me, because YouTube is truly incredible. It can change your life. I am so honest when I say it has changed mine. But if I'm being honest, it can also humble you faster than anything else you've ever tried. Truly, believe me. Everyone I've seen from first-time creators picking up a camera to CEOs who have been on camera every single day, it can humble all of us. So in this video, we're going to go over the brutal realities of making videos that truly no one talks about, what's actually holding most creators back, and the mindset shift you need if you want this to work long term. First brutal truth. You can spend all day filming and your equipment can still fail. I'm talking your mic stops working, your camera overheats, your footage corrupts, your teleprompter glitches mid-sentence, and you just sit there and you're thinking, are you kidding me? In fact, this was me earlier today. What no one tells you is that so much of YouTube truly is problem solving. You are a scientist. You are conducting science experiments. And if you don't continue to test things like A/B test your thumbnails, utilizing YouTube's new features, and we'll dive into more of that in an upcoming video, then you're just going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. And insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and hoping for a different result versus actually seeking out answers and finding out what will work. It is not glamorous. It is not aesthetic. You are literally alone. You are troubleshooting and you are trying not to lose your mind with your equipment. But the creators who win in this moment, what happens to them is they don't avoid this, they expect it, and they keep going anyway. Okay, the second truth is your first videos will probably be bad. And I'm not saying like kind of off or just almost not there. They're going to be bad. You're going to watch them back in 6 months and be like, ooh, take them off the internet. Your pacing's going to be off. Your energy's going to be off. You're going to be weird. You're going to look weird on camera. You're going to be like, is that really me? You won't sound and feel like yourself yet. And that is not a sign that you should stop. This is actually part of the process. You don't get better by waiting. You get better by posting. This is where Mr. B says you just got to get out your first 100 videos. And honestly, if you don't feel like those videos 6 months ago is like cringeworthy, you're probably doing something wrong because you really should be focused on getting better, 1% better every single video. The third truth is, this is a hard one, guys, because we're all superstars. Like we really are. But the truth is that no one cares about you, at least not yet. And that's the key. And I say that with love. People are not clicking because it's you. They're clicking because something in your video is for them. So if you focus more of your videos on trying to serve your audience or your ideal customer profile, you will get the click. And eventually, you know what's going to happen is people are going to want to watch your videos just because they like you and they like what you're all about. So if your content isn't landing, it's not personal. It just means that the value proposition isn't clear yet. You actually have to earn their attention. The fourth truth is a brutal one, and it almost goes against so much advice you've heard out there, and that is consistency alone will not grow your channel. I know you've probably heard post every Monday at noon, every week for a year, and you're going to grow. Not true. You still might not grow. And that's because growth doesn't come from just showing up. It comes from being really dedicated surgically on improving. That means better hooks, better titles, clear ideas, focusing on getting your videos the best they can be, not just creating more and more content. And truly, you might be at a point right now where you're like, I personally have analyzed this over and over again. I need an outside perspective. And therefore, you might want to work with a strategist. You might want to work with a coach like myself. If you're interested in working with me, I'll go ahead and have those links in the description below. You can hit me up and we will schedule a private session. I'll audit your channel and we'll figure out the right next steps for you. All right, fifth truth. Your videos are not failing. What? How does that make sense? It's your packaging that is. Most creators blame the algorithm, but usually it's actually the title, it's the thumbnail, it's the lack of a clear promise. If people aren't clicking, nothing else matters. This can be so annoying for people because we spend so much time on getting these incredible videos. But if we don't have a thumbnail that sparks curiosity, that gets people to say, you know what, I need to listen to this video and I need to listen to this now, that attracts the right viewer who's interested in that style of content, that offers a promise of something that you can solve, that they don't have the answer to, then it really doesn't matter that you edited your video for 10 hours, that you shot it for 30 hours, that you went all the way to Jamaica. If no one's clicking on your video, none of that matters. And when we really take that in, we start putting way more attention up front into the packaging, which is the title, the thumbnail, the hook, and the idea, than into the actual content itself. All right, truth number 6. You are competing with the best content on the internet, and not just the internet, on your TV, because YouTube's main competition isn't Instagram, LinkedIn, or Snapchat, or TikTok. It is Netflix. You are competing with Netflix level storytelling, Mr. Beast level retention, and TikTok level attention spans. That's the standard now, which means you don't need to be perfect. In fact, if you don't have those types of budgets and those types of teams, how else do you compete? You compete by being more intentional. You compete by being more authentic, by doubling down on your way of sharing your mission, by doubling down on your specific, what I like to call unfair advantage. What makes you different? What gives you more authority? You truly have to double down on this in order to stand out among the masses. Truth number 7. Motivation is useless without systems. Believe me, no matter who you are, no matter how much money you have, no matter how disciplined you are, you will not feel like filming most days. You want to know why? Because you're going to be tired. In fact, I was a tired nightmare earlier. I had to take a little nappy nap. I had to take a 20-minute nap on my couch. My dog was eating at my head. And I had to be like, you know what? I'm not in the right mindset. You're going to be in your head. You're going to question everything. You're going to want to give up. But the creators who grow, they have their own way of getting back into the momentum. And if you want more tips on how I do this, let me know in the comments below and I'll share all the different things I do. But for instance, everything was going down earlier today. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like my equipment's not working. I literally don't know what to do. I'm so frustrated. You don't film in that moment because people can feed off of your energy. And if you're just like, let me just get this out of the way, people don't want to see that. Like, what's the point in you showing up if you're just going to show up with that negative energy? You need to take a nap. Do you need to go on a walk? Like, it's almost like treating yourself as if you're a baby, like, does the baby need to be fed? Does the baby need poopy time? Like, for me, I like drinking a little Zip Fizz. It's almost like a little energy drink, like whatever's going to get you back in the motion. But you need to show up anyway. And you have to decide like how that's going to look like for you. For me, it's creating deadlines. Like no matter what, I need to get my video out today. Therefore, I need to figure out how to make this happen today. They do not do things because they feel like it. They do things because they decided to. So be the creator that shows up because you have a system that you're falling back on. Truth number 8, growth is painfully slow until it's not. You might post for months getting 100 views, nothing moves, nothing hits, and then suddenly one video takes off and then another one takes off and everything starts to connect. But you only get there if you don't quit in the quiet phase. And I personally don't actually think it needs to take you months and months on end, which is why I like to help my clients strategically cut through the noise and say, you know what? This is what we double down on. But you have to get to a point where you're ready for that critique, where you're ready to say, you know what? I am all in. And I honestly don't have time. I don't have time to waste messing around. But it truly can feel like it happens overnight and then things start exploding. And what's really cool is in those moments, you start to actually feel your audience and you start to anticipate what they want to hear and you start to listen to their comments. And then oh, these are going to be my next 3 videos. And then it all starts to snowball. Truth number 9, viral videos do not fix broken channels. One video popping off does not mean that your channel is built. If your content doesn't convert, oh man, this is a hard truth. This is hard to hear. But if your content doesn't convert, which means people won't subscribe, they're not binging, they're not coming back. You need a system, not just a spike. So if you hopped on a viral trend or whatever it is, and you're saying, oh my God, this video blew up, that doesn't mean your whole channel is blowing up. It almost feels contradictory to what we just said, right? But you want a system, you want to build an ecosystem of where, you are really focused and dedicated in your specific niche. So when things are taking off, this is your place. This is your ecosystem. Like this is where you want to be, because one viral hit isn't going to build your whole channel. You have to consistently deliver on your message and be committed to your vision. Truth number 10. And this just hurts saying this out loud, but I want to tell you because no one says this out loud, but I'm going to say it out loud because I'm going to be your content bestie right now. And that is, you are going to compare yourself constantly. You're going to compare yourself to people who are growing faster. You're going to say their videos aren't even good. Like their videos suck. They don't even have a personality. Like their thumbnails suck. And you're going to feel like, oh my God, my videos are getting worse and worse. I'm getting lower and lower views. You're going to keep analyzing and keep spinning your wheels. What am I doing wrong? And if you're not careful, that negativity and that comparison is going to take you out. Comparison is the thief of joy. That is in the Bible for a reason. You got to stay focused. You got to double down on your reps. You got to double down on your progress. You got to double down on your voice. Because what happens at the Olympics? You get your own score for most things, right, guys? Right, guys? So it doesn't matter if Susie over there is getting an 8 on the balance beam. If you're getting a 6, you're competing against the last version of you. So have every video get slightly better. Tweak one thing a little bit better and better. And Mr. Beast says this perfectly. But if you focus on 1% better every single video, it will truly help you stop comparing yourself to other people. And honestly, if you are, just use them as motivation. Think like if you think someone's channel is popping off and they're not even good at content, then maybe think they're not even good at content. You're so good at content. What are they doing that you're not doing? What have they tapped into that you clearly haven't? Because clearly something is working for someone else. So if it's working for them, it can work for you. Truth number 11. Most people quit before it works. And this hurts because it's true. Creators quit when they're just getting better. They're just starting to understand their audience. They're one video away from momentum and they never even realize how close they were to begin with. I love this phrase that I hear a lot, which is, if I told you that your 10th video is going to take off, wouldn't you work so hard to grow so rapidly to get to that 10th video or that 20th video? And what was really cool in my monetization journey is I never had like a super viral hit when I was in the process of being monetized. And then right after I was monetized, I had videos in the 40,000s and the 20,000s. But I had to keep focusing on 1% better every single video. The 12th truth is your identity has to change. You cannot grow a channel while staying the same version of yourself. What? What does that even mean? What do you mean the same version of myself? To be someone who's willing to be judged, who's willing to put themselves out there, who's willing to be misunderstood, someone who can communicate clearly and lead conversations and own their voice. This is not just a content journey, it's a personal one. And if you really want to know how to compete with AI, it's owning your own opinions, owning your own mission, standing on business. Who said that? Justin Bieber. Boom. But truly, how do you think you're going to compete with all the how-to channels out there? You're going to be someone who really owns their authenticity, who owns their bold personal voice and isn't afraid to show up when they're not feeling like it, when they're feeling scared, when they're feeling like everyone at work is making fun of them. Truth number 13 is the algorithm isn't against you, it's exposing you. If your video isn't performing, this is not personal. YouTube did not shadow ban you. I know a lot of you are like, I'm just shadow banned. The algorithm hates me. The algorithm, as the CEO of YouTube recently said, is just your audience. He said, in fact, replace the algorithm with your audience. Is just feedback. People aren't clicking. People aren't staying. People aren't engaging. And once you understand that, you can actually improve. The 14th truth, you don't need more information. You don't. There's information everywhere. And if you're anything like me, you just keep watching over and over again the videos on how to create a YouTube channel. That's why you're watching this channel. But on this channel, we are really focused on learn what you need and then go execute and then report back so we can hype you up. We can hype up the community together. In fact, I have a free school community that you can join below. I'll put that in the description below where everyone can hype each other up and you could share your journey with each other. But you really don't need more information. You need more execution. What if I told you already know what to do? Better hooks, stronger titles, clear ideas. But instead, you keep researching, you keep watching, you keep learning, you keep waiting. And if you're anything like me, that's what's keeping you stuck. In fact, anytime I consume more content than I create, that's when I get a lot of anxiety. When you focus on motion and creating instead of consuming, your anxiety disappears. All right, last but not least, 15. And this is one I really want you to hear. You will feel like it's not working even when it is, because growth is slow, validation is inconsistent, and results take time. So you have to keep going without constant proof. And here's the truth behind all of it. If you push through this phase, you don't just build a channel, you are building a voice. You are building confidence, you're building leverage, and that can change everything. You can become a voice in your industry. I'm telling you guys, just from building my last channel, you become known as someone who executes, as someone who puts together. And then what happens? People start saying, can you come speak at my event? Can you come teach my class? Can we hear your ideas in this space? Hey, you say you're really good at art. Can you actually be the spotlight host at our big art festival? Hey, I know you're really good at children's Bible stories. Can we host you and hear about all of your videos and have a book signing? Like, you really can become a leader in your space if you take your content seriously. I'm getting goosebumps right now, and I wonder if you are, because you start to see that this really is so much more than building a YouTube channel. This is building your legacy. If you're in this right now, if you're in that messy middle, if you are questioning if you should even keep going, this is your sign. Do not quit. And if you want help navigating this, figuring out your content, your strategy, and your next steps, click the link below and I'm going to give you a free 15-minute audit of your channel. See what's working, see what's not working, and how I can guide you on creating the channel and the life of your dreams. If this video hit you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're going to have weekly content every single week to keep that fire alive, keep you motivated, keep you going. And I want you to comment and let me know which brutal truth really hit you the most that you're going to take action on right now. I'll see you in the next video.